Brave Princess. Brave. The Legend of the Amazon. Princess Merida raced down the palace hallway. She had looked forward to the rays of summer all year long. It was a special festival that celebrated the friendship between the clans. This year, the Munson clan would be her family's heart and the guesses. There would be dancing, games, and feats of starlight. At the docks, everyone gathered to greet her visitors. How many didn't all the visitors here? Young mustn't step down from the boat. The sunlight garnered off a family crest turned to his crash. Oh, fancy are we? Merida teased him. Young Masters grinned. What? You don't have a crest of your own? No, but I have this. Merida grunted, showing him a lucky charm tied to show her bow. So, Shaw, I beat you at current to the top of the fire falls first. She echoed with a sly white smile. To the fire walls! Young Moses cried. Merida jumped on her horse. Angus and young Moses followed close behind. Yes, and follow me close behind. The two reached the base of the fire falls at the same time. They began to climb the craggy rocks. They were neck and neck as they ascended to the top. Merida pulled herself up. I won, she cried. Rugged, Uncle and young stranger. There he looked around. Wow, this is a fine waterfall you got here? He remarked. Where does all this water come from? I'm not sure, Merida said. Let's find out. There she is. Let's find out. Merida and young Stanley walked deeper into the forest. Then they stopped short at the exit of a deep lake. I suppose this is it, Merida said. Disappointed. I thought we would have an adventure, but this is just a lodge. She tried climbing a boulder to get a better view. Suddenly, the boulder moved. Merida transformed into a cave, and young Wilson jumped up to follow her. When Merida caught her, she gasped at what she saw. At yourself, she is my wow. It is the real sound of the firefalls, Merida explained, pointing at a pool of glowing water. Their two lads, glowing excellent, were resting on a stone ledge. Those arrows must be lucky, he said. Lucky? Young Mrs. asked. But auroras are a concern of power, not luck. Everyone knows alarms bring good luck, Merida sobbed. Merida and young Mrs. began to chant. Suddenly, young Mrs. strange up one of the arrows. I'm taking his to my father. Then you see how powerful arms are. The Rangus clan will be stronger than ever. Then I'll be taking the other one, Merida explained. They each poured an amount in their own pots. On one accident that the gems had stopped being glowing. Back at the castle, Lawrence heard that the ring was a smell of power. Lawrence is correct, Queen England, but it also sounded luck, and we sometimes forget the color's most important meaning. Loyally, the urgency of the is why we're here today. She explained that when they're used to be fighting between the clans, then two great kings rose to power, and each placed an honor at the scale of the fire falls to send their clans new friendship. As long as the fire falls ran sparkling, there would be the peace. Suddenly, a one word crashing raised into the hall. The fire falls, I've gone dark, he cried. I'm in the dark. I was thinking, what's wrong? I wasn't buying a children. Children, it's my heart. Everyone raced outside to look at the lifeless falls. Who has done this? Cried King Kong. Oh, as long as I go nodded. Yes! When King Kong is found, of which one of his jungle classmates did this, he will have my support. Which one of my consent? It was probably one of your consent, King Kong said. The male guards at each other. What was it saying? Lord, we're leaving. Merida and Young Present looked at each other as everyone else went back to the castle. They had to go just back to where they belonged before the friendship between their clans was threatened. The pair tried to climb up to the cave, but the new darkened water made the rocks too slippery. I can hear you. Something looked trouble. Suddenly, Merida saw a blue whale the swift. She knew it would lead them to their destiny. More swift drawing Merida's eyes to the top of the falls, where she noticed a small tree. If only we had a rope, Merida said. You mean like this? Young asked, showing her a long cord. I've thrown it up so the twins around that tree. He says it, but he couldn't throw far enough. But Merida had an idea. She picked out her strongest arrow. She put back to Rose and her, and whoosh! The arrow flew into the sky and landed next to the tree. Are you hungry, Sid? To the tree? Carefully, Merida used the rope to climb the rocks. When she was at the top, she tried the rope of the tree. Young wasn't following her up. He was almost at the top when the rope suddenly snapped. Young began to fall, but he grounded onto a rock just in time. Merida reached out to give him a hand. As she did, her patch tipped forward, and she had carefully tracked inside the rock. over the sky. Helping! Help! Something was missing. How'd you find? No! Merida cried. The island was gone. Merida helped Young up. You saved my life, he said. Thank you. Merida and Young didn't know what they would do. But they hurried back to the cave. The water of the firefalls too. But they hurried back to the cave. The water of the fire falls was getting even darker. When they reached the cave, Young was started to put the oars back where he had found it. It nearly tore off the stone large. Merida looked calm. The two arms must have supported each other, she said. What were they going to do without the overstone? Hey, we can overstone. The legend. Merida suddenly gasped. Each king put an umbrella on of the stone. We've got to put something there, too. She removed her locking charm from her bow and placed it on the ledge. Young had placed a small knife. For a moment, a sparkling flash cracked, and there was a burst of light. But it quickly faded. Merida shook her head. It can't just be anything. It has to be something that really truly matters. It's pride. Even matters? Young Russell nodded. He carefully emptied his family's chest from his current chest and placed it on the ledge. The hollow of green light summoning the objects as they lit up with dazzling sparkles. A golden light flung out from under the stars, filling the whole cave. Then finally the water began to glow again. Merida and Young raced from the cave just in time to see the firefalls turn from back into a clear sea of blue. From the top of the falls, Merida and Young could see the docks. There, Clan Merida and was to leave. Merida poked out her father, who was standing next to Lord Rushton. They're probably still shouting at each other, she said. Well, he leads quickly. Quickly, Merida and Young raced back down the falls and rope current the dog. Wait, Young called. Then, when they were close enough, we don't have leave. The firefalls are sparkling again, Merida cried. The water glows as beautifully as it always has. She explained how she and Young had been once friends for running and the run falls, and we're fixing them again. Now there's no reason or clans can't stay friends, Merida finished, hoping. So we don't have to leave? Young asked his father. King Krungus and Krungus looked at each other. Of course not, exclaimed Krungus, smiling at the King Krungus. Merida and Young also shared a smile. By working together, they had fixed the firefalls and the synergy between the clans. From then on, the rites of summer would they add special meaning for both of them. How wanted adorably Merida came my mom. Yeah, happy to smile.